Dubai Palm Apartments. Amanda speaking. How can I help you?
Oh, hi, Amanda. I'm ringing to inquire about a holiday apartment for the month after next.
Okay, no problem. Let me get your details first, then I'll tell you what we've got. Is that all right?
Fine, go ahead.
Okay. Can I have your name first, please?
Yes, it's Leo Blücher. That's Leo. That's my first name. And my surname is Blucher.
Okay, I've got that. Where are you from, just out of interest, Leo?
I'm Austrian.
Right, okay. And what's your address?
It's number 37, Blumengasse in Vienna.
Right. Could you just spell Blumengasse for me, please, Leo? My German's not too good.
Sure. It's Blumengasse.
Great, thanks. And what's the weather like in Vienna at the moment?
It's pretty grey and rainy, I'm afraid. Hope it's better in Dubai.
Yes, it's lovely at the moment. Sunny and warm, but not too hot. Now, can you give me your phone number?
Yes, it's 4312 11057.
Great. So, you're looking for a holiday apartment, Leo. How many people is it for? Just yourself?
No, there'll be 4 of us, 2 adults and 2 children.
Fine. And when would you like it from?
Ideally from the 1st of January.
January the 1st. Okay. I'll have a look and see what we've got. How long would you like to stay?
Well, it depends a little bit on the price, but I think that about 9 days would be perfect.
Fine. And talking of prices, what would be your maximum, do you think?
Well, I've looked on the internet, but I don't know if I'm being realistic if I say 200 euros per day. Things seem to range from 150 to well over 400.
Well, it depends where, of course, but I think we could probably find something for you at that price.
Great. There are various other things, though. Our children are quite small, and we don't want to take them to restaurants all the time. So one thing we'd really appreciate is a fully equipped kitchen so we can do some cooking.
Yes, I completely understand. Do you have any other special requirements?
Yes, we live in the city centre, hundreds of miles from the sea, so we'd really like to be able to see it from our apartment.
Okay, I'll note that down. All our apartments come with air conditioning and central heating, by the way.
Oh dear, one thing I don't like is the noise of air conditioning in the background. Can you make sure it's as quiet as possible?
Yes, I'll look into that. Anything else?
Yes, just one more thing. We'd like to hire a car while we're in Dubai, so we'll need to have a parking space, I think. We don't want to have to walk a long way from the car to the apartment.
I think you're quite right. I'll look into all these things and make a list of possible apartments. Do you have an email address so I can send them to you?
Hello?
Hi, Clive, is that you?
Yes, hi Debbie.
Did you manage to see those candidates for our expedition?
Yes, I did, and there was an extra one who was quite a surprise. You know, he hadn't applied, and he just turned up out of the blue, so we haven't got any details for him.
Really? Tell me about him.
Okay, and you can take some notes, then we'll see what we think.
Fine.
First, he's called Sanjay Dabashi.
Okay, Sanjay is spelled S-A-N-J-A-Y, right?
Correct. And Dabashi is D-U-B-A-S-H-I.
D-U-B-A-S-H-I. Fine, thanks. I'm just getting that down. And did you find out how old he is?
Sure, he's round about our age, you know. Well, a couple of years older. He's 27. Quite a big man, quite muscular, impressive, with a big moustache.
And what does he do?
Well, actually, he just says he's an office worker, you know, just one of those people with quite a routine job in an office.
Doesn't sound like he finds his job very interesting. Has he got any experience, do you know, of going off to remote places on foot?
Yes, he's been all over the place. He was telling me all about a trip he made in a Land Rover across Central Africa from one side to the other, which sounded pretty exciting and dangerous.
Great. I think it would be really interesting to cross Central Africa. I'd love to do that. Anything physical? I mean, where he actually had to walk instead of driving? You know, being so muscular, as you say.
I was coming to that. Last year, he went to Russia with some friends in their summer holidays, and they went up a mountain. Let's see, Mount Elbrus, it's called.
Wow, now that's really quite something. By the way, Elbrus is spelled E-L-B-R-O-S, isn't it?
Not quite, it's U-S.
Ah, okay. What qualifications does he have which would interest us? Has he done any sort of specialist training, for example?
Well, he's done a course in first aid, which may be pretty useful. If any of us get injured, he should know what to do.
Good. It might be useful to have someone who knows how to do first aid in case someone has an accident. Can he swim?
I didn't ask now you mention it. I forgot. But he did tell me he can hold conversations in 5 languages. He's not fluent in all of them, but he can get by. He grew up in India, and I suppose that helps, you know, for learning languages, though now he lives over here.
Right. What else? Has he been to university, for instance?
Yes, he graduated in media studies, though he says he's never worked in the media.
Okay. And when he's not off on expeditions to remote places, what does he like doing in his spare time?
He seems to do all sorts of things. One thing he told me, which could be useful, is that he likes fishing.
Yes, we'd better tell him to bring his fishing rod. That is, if we choose him.
And he seems to spend a lot of time at the gym. He says he really likes to keep fit. And when you meet him, you'll believe it's true.
Great. Another fitness fanatic like you. Well, sounds like I should meet him, doesn't it? When can you fix that up?
Good evening and welcome aboard the Pride of Poole. In this recorded announcement, we'll give you details of some of the facilities available on board this ship. You're currently standing in the reception area in the centre of B deck. If you're feeling hungry after a long day's travelling, go up the stairs to A deck, where you'll find the restaurant. The restaurant caters for all appetites, with anything from a light snack to a full 3-course meal. The restaurant will be open from the moment the ship leaves port to half an hour before arrival. Next to the restaurant on A deck in the lounge, there are reclining seats with music headphones if you want to relax. The headphones are free, but people using this area are encouraged to keep noise to a minimum so that other passengers can enjoy themselves and sleep or read if they wish. For those of you who'd like some entertainment, Just next door to us on this deck is a 40-seat cinema showing the latest full-length feature films. The cinema programme is available here at reception, but you'll have to buy the tickets themselves at the cinema entrance, just before you go in. Just next to the cinema is the staircase leading down to the cabins on C deck. To access your cabin, just show your boarding pass to a steward, who will give you the key. On this deck, that is B deck, you'll also find an area where you can either play games in our special electronic games arcade or do your shopping. Just beyond that on the same level, people who want a bit of fresh air or just want to see the sea can go out onto the viewing deck, which is in the open air. Make sure you wear a jacket or coat, as it can be quite cold and windy. Now for some further details. This voyage is an overnight trip. The ship leaves port at 7 p.m. and the journey takes just over 12 hours and 45 minutes, reaching our destination at about 8 tomorrow morning. This is for the convenience of those wishing to catch the 9 o'clock train, which leaves from the ferry terminal. Passengers with children in their party are informed that there is a special section in the restaurant with kids' food and a play area. People with children are encouraged to turn up early to get a place, as the section is very popular. Make this a trip to remember. Here at the information desk, you can obtain a souvenir ship's keyring for €4.50. You can upgrade from a tourist class cabin to a first class cabin. And you can get your train tickets here, which will save you time queuing in the station tomorrow morning. If you buy them on the ship, you can get them for 20% off. For those using the lounge and wishing to check their email, there's a wireless connection, but you'll have to bring your own laptop. You can also watch the latest TV programs there or in the coffee bar next to the restaurant. Finally, a unique feature on this crossing only. Anyone who buys a fashion item from our wonderful range of men's and women's clothes in the shopping area has the chance to win a free holiday. All you have to do is complete a sentence starting, "I like Sealand ferries because," and the best sentence wins the prize of a holiday in Switzerland, with tickets to a 3-day music festival included. Talk to any member of staff for more details.
Good morning. Can you tell me about the ticket options, please?
Certainly. We've got various options, depending on whether you want to just visit parts of the exhibition or all of it. It's organised into various different sections, and because it's so large, you may not be interested in everything or have time for everything. You can buy tickets just for the sections you want to visit, and that makes it a lot cheaper.
Well, I've really come here to see things to do with electronics.
Right. Then I think you'll find the first part of the exhibition as you go in is quite relevant. It's all about electronics and how we can use them to protect the world around us. You know, the environment, and what we can do to avoid damaging it further.
Protecting the environment. That sounds interesting. Anything I should specially look out for there?
There are lots of new devices. One which fascinated me when I went round was a new instrument for measuring how the temperature of the ocean changes at different levels. And this can be done from a ship on the surface right down to the bottom.
Great. I'll look out for that.
OK. And I see you've got your son with you, which is nice because The subject of the next section is all about different things for keeping an eye on your children and looking after their safety. It contains a range of things, from electronic instruments used in medicine to children's electronic games, and even a number of new devices to prevent children from having an accident when they're at home.
That sounds useful.
Yes, there's even an invention for older children. You'll see a demonstration of it while you're there, which helps parents to make sure their kids are going to school. Really useful in families where both parents work. It sort of electronically tells parents about their kids' attendance and sends them a signal via the internet.
Very convenient, but my son is a bit young to worry about that yet. Are there any other sections which feature electronics?
Sure. There's another section. It's the third you come to, I think, which should interest everyone. It contains lots of new electronic instruments or devices for looking after and working with money. You know, like that thing you must have heard of, which counts what you're putting into your supermarket trolley and adds up the bill as you go around.
Right, money. That sounds interesting too. Well, thanks for the information. I'd like tickets for myself and my son for those 3 sections then, please.
Excuse me?
Yes?
Before you go through, I wonder if you could help us by answering a few questions for a survey. It won't take long.
No problem. We're not in any hurry.
Fine, thanks. Now, let's look at the questions.
Okay.
Here they are. First one. Why are you visiting the exhibition?
Well, I want to keep up with the latest developments in electronics, you know. I was recommended by a friend to come here and see what new devices and inventions are coming out and learn a bit. I mean, I don't generally go shopping for new electronics. I'm not the sort of person who goes out and buys all the latest gadgets. The prices are too high when they're new. But it interests me. And I thought also there would be things which would interest my son, and he'd enjoy it as well. So that's why we're here.
Okay. And here's a question to find out what sort of consumer you are. Have you bought any electronics recently?
Recently? Sure. I was thinking of buying a new calculator for the office, but I decided it wasn't really necessary because I can do all the calculations just as easily on a computer. Anyway, I got a new laptop recently because, you know, they have so many applications and they don't take up much space either. Better to have lots of things on the same device, I think. The other thing I bought was a present for my husband's birthday. I thought it would be nice to have a record of our holidays, so I bought him a camera, and I'm hoping to get him more interested in photography. I'm not very keen on the sort of pictures you can take with a mobile phone, you see. I think it's better to go for higher quality.
Right. And here's a question about this building. I know you haven't had a chance to look around a lot yet, but at first sight, what do you think of it?
Oh, it looks pretty good to me. It's got lots of natural light, so you don't have to put up with lots of electric lighting, which can be quite tiring on the eyes. It feels very large and spacious, which is great, because although it's full of activity and quite noisy, it doesn't feel too crowded. Also, when you look up at the ceiling near the entrance with the design of stars and planets on it, that's something I really like. I'm not so keen on those revolving doors, though. I always feel I'm going to get stuck in one.
And did you have any difficulties getting to the exhibition?
Well, coming at this time of day, the roads weren't too busy, so that was all right. and there were plenty of signposts, so the car park was easy to find. The only problem was it was full when I arrived. I guess I should have come earlier, so I had to find another one, quite a long walk away, which was a pity. Then we had to stand outside for quite a long time queuing to get in. This exhibition is pretty popular. That was a bit of a problem, because my son gets impatient. But fortunately, it wasn't raining. Otherwise, we might have gone home.